Hello, everyone. This is Dr. T, your favorite legal business and real estate strategist. And I am back with you today about GW5, our Meet the Speaker series. You know what that is. It's where I introduce each of the speakers and their related conference topics as a preview as to what you as the attendee will learn from them at the conference. So I am excited today because we are speaking with Coach William Moore. And when when Coach William Moore is not helping people build business credit and help them with their personal credit, he is also, his full-time job is being my husband. So that is who he is. And we're going to be talking about his conference topic about optimizing personal credit for business success. Coach Moore, what's up?
Well, what's going on, Dr. Martin, or AKA my wife? How are you today?
I am doing super fantastic, but I'm really excited about what we're doing and building with GW5. And this Meet the Speaker series has been really exciting because I give the audience a sneak peek and the glimpse as to what they're going to be learning from them at the conference. So this has been just my joy. But, this is my pivotal moment because I get to spend time with you today, on this call. So I really want us to kind of hone in, Coach, really to talk to them about optimizing and impacting how their personal credit impacts their business endeavors, right? So what I want you to do is kind of unpack that. How will attendees learn to optimize their personal credit to help them unlock greater opportunities and support their entrepreneurial goals?
Great question. You know what? When people think about their credit, they're just all really on the consumer space, not understanding that when you're an entrepreneur, things change. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be really giving the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay, it's going to be good for a moment. I'm going to be giving some great information. It may seem bad to some folks, and it may even get ugly because we're going to hit some hard truths. Because really, there are like 12 steps, that I'm going to be going through. So really, for the sake of time, I'm just going to just give a taste. One of the things is that understanding your score. A lot of times in the entrepreneurial space, people don't understand that you can actually leverage yourself and you can actually really fully endeavor all of your entrepreneurial dreams if you understand how to leverage your personal credit score. So I'm going to be talking about that. I'm also going to be talking about some details into what does utilization mean. We're talking about utilization on existing credit. That's very important because you got to understand, in the entrepreneurial business space, they're going to be looking at some things. And some of the things they're going to be looking at is how do you handle existing credit? And so we're going to talk about looking at your credit cards. You should always have 30% utilization. I'm going to talk about why it's so important to have 15 to 10% utilization. And utilization just basically means that whatever the balance is of your car, you should have no more than 10% or 30% balance on that car. We're going to be explaining what that means and why that tunes in and turns into what they can do in an entrepreneurial space. And then, of course, the most simple thing I'll be talking about is why paying your bills on time. Remember, I'm going over 12 points. I'm just giving these 3, but why paying your bills is on time. We're talking about if you want to get investors, if you're talking about people lending you money, if you're talking about people taking a faith in you, I need to know what type of stability you are right now. And paying your bills on time, which is 35% of your score, is actually going to determine that. So those are just some of the things I'm going to be going over. I got 12 points, but those are some things I'm going to be going over. Like I said, it'll be good, great information. Maybe bad, and people are like, ooh, I'm not doing that. And may even get ugly, but guess what? It'll also be necessary.
Wow. And also, and that's what I really like about how you handle, personal credit, because you're not some credit repair guy that's out there fixing somebody's credit, which we hear so much of. You can just scour the internet and find that. But I really like the fact that you focus on owner's credit, right? And how that impacts the business space, because we deal with a lot of real estate investors, obviously in RIA NYC. And we're also dealing with, on the entrepreneurial side, we're just dealing with, brick and mortar or, the e-commerce store, right? So we deal with it all. So I really like the fact that you really hone in on them as an owner and how their owner's credit actually impacts their entrepreneurial journey, whether it's real estate or any other thing. So one of the things that I want you to kind of dive into a little bit, just a little sneak peek, because your session promises techniques for credit optimization, because this is an implementation conference, right? So they're going to be coming, they're going to come with their credit reports, they're going to actually come and get some tips and tricks, right? That's it. Tips and tricks. Okay. Yeah. Tips and tricks. You would think I'd be drinking, but tips and tricks about, credit optimization and all that. So could you just provide a sneak peek into like one tactic that the entrepreneurs and the attendees or the attendee entrepreneurs can implement to help them elevate their personal credit standing? What little sneak peek? Now, don't give them all the gems now. Just a little sneak peek.
Okay. All right. For the sake of the interview, I won't go full mode. But one thing that we're going to really look at is, and I know I said it in the last question, but really how they pay their existing finances. And so one of the things I'm going to be giving an exercise where everyone's going to list out all their expenses. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at, okay, if you're paying these on time, what is owed, how much is owed, and why are we doing that? Why is that so important? So it's simply because in this space, people are going to have to learn how to separate their personal from their business. That's going to be very important. You got to understand that some of the habits that you have in the personal space, good or bad, you're going to bring over into the business space. How you do anything is how you do everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to be having, some exercises where we get a chance to see, okay, what are you doing in your personal space? Then give you an idea how that impacts what you do in the business space. Because one of the key things we're also going to be talking about is paying off your personal debts. You see, the higher your debt level is going to be, right? The higher your debt level, that's now decreasing your chances. And whatever you're going to do in the business space, whether it be real estate investing or just straight entrepreneurial business space, that's going to decrease that. So we're going to have to take a look at that. So the exercise I'm going to be putting together is going to hit that. That's why I said good, bad, and ugly, because it may be ugly for supposed to go, oh, I didn't realize I did that. However, it's going to be necessary simply because we want to make sure that your personal does not impact in a negative way your business.
Well, one of the things, Coach, is that a lot of the attendees are coming, we say the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? And a lot of times people don't really know, what's in that score and what it actually means. So some people just fear it, right? They fear it and they don't really want to know, right? But they want the things that, a good credit score could provide them, like access to, business lines of credit and access to these different things, homes and investments and stuff like that. So the attendees that's coming to enhance their credit, credit fitness, how will your insights, basically, how are you different, right? How will your insights empower them to be able to leverage a strong personal credit foundation that's going to help them with their entrepreneurial endeavors? What are they going to be leaving with?
Well, they're going to be leaving with a full interpretation of the power of that score and what that means. They're going to also understand that we're in a new type of scoring shift because there are different types of scoring models. And so we're going to let them know that there is something called FICO 10 and what that means. And if your score is good right now, that's great. In that FICO 10 model, you can do so much more. We can do so much more. But we're also going to let people know that the FICO 10 model and the business model are very similar because they all focus on key things. We're also going to be showing them that there are 3 letters that they've probably seen before, heard before, didn't realize what they were, but I'm going to be giving the full interpretation. Those 3 letters are the C, the I, and the A. And they're going to understand exactly what that means. Because when we're talking about getting any type of either business finance or any type of finance you're going to use to leverage your business or leverage your investing, well, that C is going to be very important because C stands for the credit. What type of credit you have. We're looking for 680 or better. Preferably, because there are different packages out there where you have at least a 680. Now, because we're in the credit shift, Dr. Martin, 720 is ideal. Not just for borrowing on a home, not for just investing on a property, for anything else that you're doing in your entrepreneurial business endeavor, that's an ideal score. People need to understand why. Then we're going to be talking about the I. And the I is really more income based. What are you bringing in income? We're not talking about just from your job, from your business, combined, ever assets you may have. What type of income do you have? How does that all relate? Because you may not have the best C, which means the best credit. However, if you have a sustainable I, guess what? That might actually get you over the hump to what you need to do. And then, of course, the A, we've been going over as far as assets. What do you bring to the table? What assets do you may have? Do you have things that can be collateralized? Because you may not have the best I. You may not have the best C. But if you have the greatest A, that could also help you to where you're going to go. So I'm going to be really delving deep in understanding and interpreting what that means so people can get a full understanding. So when they leave that conference, they'll have an understanding that, wow, I may only have a 620 credit score, but gosh darn it, I didn't realize that 401k that I have or the assets that I have over here can actually help me what I'm needing to do while I'm getting myself on the path of getting that 620 credit score even better. And one last thing I'd like to say is, can you imagine that after taking a course and being around this type of an atmosphere and hanging out with a Coach William Moore and a great Teresa Martin and all the other incredible people that's going to be there, that when you leave that conference and you have a full understanding, whether it was good, whether it was bad, or even ugly, you will at least leave with the confidence of knowledge. And now it's just really a matter of putting you through those steps to now make that knowledge into something that's useful to you. That's why I'm so excited. That's why I'm so grateful for such a conference.
And one of the things that I think people really need to understand about what we do, and we do it as a team, and is that no matter where you are right now, right? Where you are and then where you want to go, all we want to do is identify that, like where you are now, no matter what it is. So if you are at a negative, let's get it at a 0, right? So now we can start building, right? But we got to first get the negative to the 0. And if you're starting at 0, that's okay. Now we can build to where you want to go. A lot of people don't know where they want to go. Right? They don't have any idea. They just pull numbers out because it sounds great. I want $1 million. I want $5 million. But do you really know exactly what it is that you want, so that if you really hone in, you can get a guiding light on how to do that? Because what we focus on is sequencing. Sometimes you're doing the right things, but you're doing it at the wrong time. Right? And so the conference is going to now bring and identify what you are doing right now, and then see if that's something you should be doing right now, or should that be put on the back burner and then move it over here to shift. Because if you have little monies, if you have little assets, it might just take some shifts to put you back on the right path, right? It's just like a GPS, right? When you take the wrong turn, all you do is just follow the navigation to get right back where you need to be, so you can start going back on your journey, right? So we just really want to be that GPS for you. And that's what GW5 is about. Since it's 100% implementation, you're gonna come with an idea, you're gonna come with a plan, and then we're gonna actually come together and we're going to help you either execute. We might have to rip it up and write a new plan, right? So that we can make sure that it's something that's achievable, right? Because we want you to be able to implement, because that's the biggest part of the journey. And sometimes I tell people, just come to be coachable. I know you might have paid all this money for coaching, and you might have paid all this money for this website, and you might have paid all this money for your social media branding and everything like that. But what if all the time, energy that you have put into that thing, what if it was identified that it's not working, right? We can tell if it's not working because we find out your proof of concept.
That's the hardest thing to admit, that everything that I've been doing for the past up in time is not working.
It's hard. It's hard.
It's very. I look at one of the things is the person's IQ level. And I don't mean how smart you are. I'm talking about your I quit level. What's your desire? Because that can never be measured in a person in regards to that person's desire. If your desire is high enough, what I believe is you'll stick and stay. We used to always say, stick and stay and you'll get your pay. So when you said, hey, I may have to rip up this plan and all that stuff, your desire is high and you believe in what you're doing, then this might be the best thing for you. You may say, that wasn't working. But you know what? Okay, I've gotten some guidance. Like you said, that GPS. Oh my goodness, I've been going the wrong way. Didn't know it. But you know what? You moving. I love the fact that you are moving. You're not staying home and wilding, you're moving. And the best in the first test is that you came all the way to Westchester to get that type of information. That's why I can't wait.
Absolutely. GW5conference.com, GW5conference.com. If you haven't gotten your ticket, what are you waiting for? I mean, this conference is really going to be something that is going to help you really navigate everything that you're looking for as far as business, right? So if you are a business owner, real estate investor, service professional, whatever it is, you're going to have something that you're going to be able to take from this conference. We have the Build Her category, those people who are looking to get their first 100K. We have the Grow Her category, those people who may have already reached their 100K, excuse me, who maybe have reached their 100K, but now they're trying to get to the next level. And then you have the Master Her phase. Those people have already made their $250,000. Now they're looking to license or, do franchising or what have you. So whatever category you're in, there's going to be a cohort for you. And we have 3 wonderful days and a bonus day on that Thursday night. And then we have the gala. We all play dress up. I'm so excited about that. We get to play dress up at the gala, and we celebrate our peers and those people who are just moving and shaking and making a transformative difference to their community and their families. And then we have entertainment, and we have paparazzi style. We have 3-course meals. We have all that stuff. So whatever you can think about, that's what we're going to have at this conference. But Coach, this is what I want you to share with them. Because if you go to the website, all the men, they might be thinking, this is a women's conference, so I'm actually not going to go. Okay. What do you have to say about that?
We're going to have something called the Mantuary. Yes, women are doing it big, but the men too. We're actually be having a safe haven where the men can get together and network and grow and really get a chance to showcase what they're doing. When we start talking about the Mantuary, the thing is we recognize that we understand that we're not saying this was a woman's event, but we also knew what the target market was. But we also knew there were a lot of men who were investing in real estate or thought about investing in real estate, who were in business, who wanted to showcase their business that might have felt kind of left out. So we wanted to put together a forum for them. So we're going to actually be meeting in the evening of November the 10th, where we're actually going to have our own room. And we got a nice agenda that will allow people to introduce themselves, to network with others, talk about certain things, talk about subject matters like what it's like to be in business and to have a partner, but that partner may not understand exactly what I'm doing. Or you might be the partner of someone who's in business and having success, but you may not know exactly where you fit. See, it takes nothing away from my manhood of knowing that I got the great Teresa R. Martin as my wife, who may be just more inclined in certain things than I am, because I recognize where I fit in this type of relationship. So we're going to be talking about that in the Mantuary and why that's so important. So I'm excited that the evening of November 10th, we get a chance for the men to come together, to learn, to network, to grow, and have a space, have a safe haven where everything is on the table. We can talk about anything that they want, just so they understand where their place is within their own business, but also in this partnership in this community.
I'm excited about that because in the Mantuary, I had a lot of men who, contacted us, contacted you rather, isn't this just a woman's event? And I love the fact that, we build generational wealth. Now, what that means, that's a family affair, right? So I focus on the women and Coach focuses on the men. But when we come together for the conferences, it's a family affair. We are building generational wealth 5 generations deep. That's the bottom line. All we want to do is help people change their family tree. Okay. And that's what we are focused on at this conference. That's what we're focused on in our real estate association. That's what we're focused on in our coaching organization. This is what we do. All I want to do is make sure you have a place where you can now call home and it's like a family reunion. You come, you have just left all the masks, everything at the door. And when you come, you're just going to just be transparent. And we're going to actually now just share together, grow together, prepare together. And then when we come back in 2024, we're going to be looking like so many different people, right? Because our businesses have just changed that much. We probably added more zeros and all that kind of stuff. So thank you so much, Coach. But I do want to ask you, what is the last thing that you would like to tell people who have not yet registered for GW5 conference?
You need to go to GW5conference.com. You need to register as soon as possible, meaning now. And why? Because you're not going to want to see what we did on Facebook. You're not going to want to see this on social media. You don't want to look at your local news channel and say, man, the event they had at GW5, and you go, oh man, I heard about that, but yet I wasn't there. You want to take advantage of this, because this is a generational thing. This is our first meeting, but this is definitely not going to be our last meeting. Guess what? We're doing this every year, and you want to be there at the first one, because that's where the magic happens. They always say, get in when it's small, because when it takes off, you can say, man, I was there, and it was an incredible thing. So you make sure you go to GW5conference.com, GW5conference.com. And for the men, we got something for you too. So you can go to GW5conference.com, and we will see you there. Sharp, sharp.
All right, now there's nothing else to say. This has been Dr. Teresa Martin and Coach William Moore. But
sharp, sharp.
I am so excited about you coming to GW5. So I'm signing off now. This is Dr. T, your favorite legal, business, and real estate strategist, and I'll see you next time. Sharp, sharp.